So in the 14th, with 4% reporting, still very early, it's 51.8 to 48.2.
Whoa, we got a race.
Race on our hands.
We got a race.
I mean, it probably doesn't even matter who's in the lead, right? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Oh God!
It's only 4%. It's only 4%.
Oh, 4%.
And it's super close.
Oh my God! I just got electrified.
So did Steny Hoyer, by the
way. He's like, finally, that guy's gonna be off my ass.
Exactly.
Mr. Number 4.
Hold. It was at 4%. It's jumped up to 13%. And she is still 51.6 to 48.
Oh my God, his internal numbers must have been disastrous. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell Randy Gonzalez, we got a race. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez with a 3-point lead on Joe Crowley out of the gate. If she wins, you'd have no idea how ballistic I'm gonna go.
By the way,
if she loses after having the lead in the beginning, we'll be,
we have more votes because she was up by 30 votes for some reason before. Yeah. Now we're at 31% reporting. Let me read it. No,
oh my God.
She's now up by 500 votes.
57 to 42. Holy cow. Yes.
We still hold.
I know, of course we're holding, it's 32%, but that's a big lead. That's not a small lead. That's 15 points.
But it doesn't sound right to me, Cenk, that only 12,000. I'm not trying to rain on this. It's a huge lead. It's great.
I agree. It seems odd.
It seems if they're saying it's 4,300 votes and that's 15%, more than 13,000 people, I would guess, are going to vote in that race.
No, I talked to them. So they thought as little as 10,000 votes could win the race.
So it has jumped up by 20%. First of all, I have multiple results, but let's start with the 14th. I do have bad news though for Joe Crowley. Because with 51% of the vote, she has expanded her lead to 58.1% to 41.9%. She's up by 2,200 votes.
Oh God, that's unbelievable.
11,
unless there's something really wrong here, she now stands an excellent chance of winning.
We don't know for sure, it's not called. Still, 200 or so.
Oh God, I think we took down one of the giants.
We've just jumped from 51% reporting to 68% reporting in the 14th. And Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has slightly raised her lead to 56.9%.
She's gonna win, she's gonna win, she's gonna win.
68% reporting. She's got a lead of 2,300 votes out of 16,000. That's going to be difficult to make up.
Okay, she's going to win.
She was outspent 10 to 1.
He put $3.3 million in the race. She had 300,000.
It's been 19 years. Am I wrong about that? That he's been congressman? 7 terms? I don't remember the numbers exactly. He's been there a long time.
He's got plenty of time to make those calculations now. You know what's happening? Oh, I hear a little bit of an earthquake. What now, establishment Democrats? What now?
We have jumped up to 74% reporting.
And by the way,
it is 6% more over than it was.
And there's 2 different calls. The official call from AP, etc.
I called it on Twitter, by the way.
Right, okay, and then our call. So John likes to jump the gun a little bit, but our calls on the Young Turks, the official calls have been 100%. We've never gotten it wrong. So, but with 74% reporting, what do we have?
He has gained by 0.1%.
Okay, he's done. All right, can I see it on the board? Because I want to see what the actual vote counts are. Because in the beginning, we were a little concerned that
they've gotten up there.
The vote numbers were too low. And so we're just trying to be cautious here, just trying to make sure that there isn't anything that's going to surprise us, especially in New York with their party politics and their
anything could happen.
Anything can happen with the tricks and all this stuff, right? So I'm trying to be as careful as we can. But if they can't pull it up, can you?
This is the 14th district of New York.
14th district in New York.
So she has 10,665 votes. He has 8,123.
Perfect, great. So those are real numbers.
Yeah.
So
you'll end up with more than 20,000.
Yeah, there's no aberration there. That's the kind of numbers you would expect with 74% reporting. The voter turnout that we suspected. So those are real numbers. That means he's done.
We're up to 85%, and she has the exact same lead that she had
So
before.
show it to me. What's the numbers?
57.6% to 42.4%.
I'm calling it. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the winner, defeating Joe Crowley, the #4 Democrat in the House. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
We got him. We got him.
Down goes Crowley.
Down goes Crowley.
Down goes Crowley.
Down goes Crowley.
Tonight he's eating crow.
Okay. Look, when we started the Just Democrats, and when I say we, I mean the four folks who started it. Me, Kyle Kalinske from Secular Talk, Zach Exley from the Bernie Sanders campaign, Shoykat Chakrabarti from the Sanders campaign. I remember, okay, they said you'll be lucky to get one candidate in after the 2018 elections. Okay, we now have 12 that have won their primaries and are moving on. In the case of Ocasio-Cortez, she'll win in a cakewalk in that district against the Republicans. That is Congressman, or I should say Congresswoman and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez now, okay? And
the headhunter.
She was in the first batch of Justice Democrats candidates. We already have 3 incumbents. Now it's going to be 4. So that's, you could pretty much write that in stone. And we're just getting started. So what happened? I thought it couldn't be done.
Yeah.
And I thought that we wouldn't even get one. But it turns out if you believe, and you're right about your thesis, that a wave is coming, and it's not just a Democratic wave, it's an actual progressive wave, that amazing things can happen. Like the #4 Democrat in the House with a 10-to-1 money advantage can lose to a woman who never ran for office before, who no one gave a chance to. And by the way, now they say demographic advantages for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. But before they were saying this young Latina woman who's never been in politics. And there's a little bit of code words there as well. Like, how is she gonna go up against the guy who runs Queens, Joe Crowley, the guy who has all the money, the guy that has all the endorsements and all the establishment behind him? Well, guess what? She did it. And I don't wanna make the same mistake as the establishment. So, #1, it does mean to some degree, and I would argue a large degree, yes, the progressive wave is real. Yes, these candidates that everyone else thought had no chance, that had a 10-to-1 disadvantage financially, can win, and she did win tonight, okay? But also, she ran a great campaign.
Oh, she busted her ass for well over a year.
She ran a brilliant campaign. She knew she could do it from day one. She had all the right strategies. She went to go knock on doors. We told you knocking on doors would work. Small little credits to so many different people involved. You know, Allison Hartson, a fellow Just Democrat, lost her race in California, took her volunteers, and started making calls into Alexandria's district. That made a little bit of a difference.
It's called. Done. Ocasio-Cortez wins.
Ocasio-Cortez wins, Crowley loses. God, who would have thought that?
Gentlemen.
Who would have thought that?
We got him.
We got him. Let's listen on the interview that Emma's doing right now.
Tonight, I had no idea what was going to happen, but I felt good about this race because I felt like I had at least run the campaign, and that we had run the campaign that we wanted to run. We didn't know if it was going to work or not, but
it looks like it did. Can you just talk about what this race means for the country? Because everyone keeps comparing it to the Eric Cantor race, but you ran no corporate PAC money. What does this mean for America's democracy?
I think it means that there is a path, you know? There is a path. It is possible. It is hard. It is uphill. We did it alone, and we did it with a ragtag group of 10 people who believed for like 90% of this race. But we were able to pull through. We were able to make this happen.
And lastly, can you give any inspirational words to other candidates that might want to run on a similar platform?
To do it, to stick to it, to stick through it, even if it feels like it's failing, and to see it through to the very end. Do not give up.
Congratulations. Thank you so much.
I'm so sorry.
Everyone.
She's over there.
Okay. I just want to double down on that message. You gotta believe. Because if you don't believe, you have no chance. But if you believe, anything is possible. The Eric Cantor reference that Emma just made is one of the most historic defeats for an incumbent in American history. Eric Cantor was the majority leader for the Republicans. He was the #2 Republican, and they had never lost, a majority leader had never lost a primary before. This right now, already tonight, as the race just got called, and Emma's not the only one, and we talked about it earlier with Michael, it would be along the lines of an Eric Cantor-like defeat. The #4 Democrat in the House loses to someone no one had ever heard of before because she ran a deeply progressive campaign connected to the grassroots.